Welcome to AI in 10. I'm Chuck Goetschel, and every day my AI clone breaks down the biggest AI story in 10 minutes or less. What it is, why it matters, and how you can actually use it. Today we're talking about something that sounds like science fiction, but is happening right now in warehouses and factories around the world. Physical robots powered by AI are moving from the lab to the loading dock, and they're bringing some serious muscle to jobs we never thought machines could handle. Here's what caught my attention this week. Companies across multiple industries are deploying advanced physical robots that represent a major leap forward from traditional automation. These aren't your grandmother's factory robots that do one simple task over and over. These are sophisticated machines that can navigate complex environments using advanced sensors and pre-programmed autonomy for specialized tasks like industrial inspection. Think about that for a second. We've all gotten used to AI that can write emails and generate images. But now we're talking about robots that can walk, climb stairs, open doors, and manipulate objects in the real world. It's like giving ChatGPT legs and hands, which is either really exciting or mildly terrifying depending on your perspective. Let me break down what's actually happening here. These physical AI robots combine two breakthrough technologies that have both reached a tipping point at the same time. First, you've got advanced language models that can understand context and make complex decisions. Second, you've got robotics hardware that's finally good enough and cheap enough to work outside of controlled laboratory settings. The robots being deployed can do things like inspect equipment in manufacturing plants, navigate warehouse floors to track inventory, and even perform maintenance tasks that used to require human technicians. But here's the really interesting part: they're learning as they go. Each robot that encounters a new situation shares that knowledge with every other robot in the network. So if one robot figures out how to navigate around a forklift that's parked in an unusual spot, every robot in the system now knows how to handle that situation. It's like having a workforce that instantly shares every lesson learned with every other employee, which is something most human workplaces still haven't figured out after centuries of trying. Now you might be thinking, this sounds like another story about robots taking jobs. And honestly, that's part of what's happening. But it's more nuanced than the usual doom and gloom headlines suggest. These robots aren't replacing entire job categories overnight. They're taking over specific tasks that are dangerous, repetitive, or require working in environments where humans struggle. Take warehouse inspection, for example. Right now, human workers have to climb ladders, squeeze into tight spaces, and check thousands of components by hand. It's physically demanding work that leads to injuries and inconsistent results. A physical AI robot can do these inspections more thoroughly, more safely, and around the clock without getting tired or making mistakes because it's the end of a long shift. But here's where it gets interesting for your career and your future. While these robots are handling the dangerous and repetitive stuff, they're creating new opportunities for humans to do higher-level work. Someone has to program these robots, monitor their performance, analyze the data they collect, and make strategic decisions based on what they find. This connects to your daily life in ways you might not expect. If you work in manufacturing, logistics, retail, or really any industry that involves physical operations, this technology is coming to your workplace whether you're ready or not. The companies that adopt it first are going to have massive advantages in speed, accuracy, and cost efficiency. But here's the thing, and this is important: you don't have to be a robotics engineer to benefit from this trend. The biggest opportunities are going to go to people who understand how to work alongside these systems and how to leverage the data they generate. Let me give you a concrete example. Imagine you work in facilities management for a large building. Today you might spend your time doing routine inspections, checking HVAC systems, and responding to maintenance requests. Tomorrow, physical AI robots will handle most of those routine checks. But someone still needs to interpret the data, prioritize repairs, coordinate with contractors, and make decisions about major upgrades. The person who gets promoted isn't going to be the one who can compete with a robot at climbing ladders and checking gauges. It's going to be the person who can take the robot's data and turn it into actionable business intelligence. Someone who can say, based on what our robots are seeing, we need to replace this equipment in 6 months, not wait for it to fail. This is also going to impact you as a consumer in ways that might surprise you. Companies using physical AI robots are going to be able to offer better service, more consistent quality, and potentially lower prices. Your online orders are going to arrive faster and with fewer errors. The products you buy are going to be manufactured with fewer defects. Even services like building maintenance and facility management are going to become more reliable and efficient. But it also means the job market is going to continue shifting toward roles that require creativity, strategic thinking, and human judgment. If your current role involves a lot of routine physical tasks or predictable problem solving, it's time to start developing skills that complement these AI systems rather than compete with them. Now here's what you can do about this today. Start by understanding what physical AI can and cannot do in your industry. Spend some time researching companies like Anybotics, Boston Dynamics, and other robotics firms to see what solutions they're already offering in your field. Next, identify the data that physical AI robots would generate in your workplace and start thinking about how that information could be used strategically. If robots were inspecting your facility, tracking your inventory, or monitoring your equipment, what insights would that data provide? How could you use those insights to improve operations, reduce costs, or better serve customers? Then, start developing skills that complement AI systems rather than compete with them. This might mean learning data analysis, project management, or strategic planning. It might mean getting better at communicating complex technical information to non-technical stakeholders. Or it might mean developing expertise in your industry's regulations, safety requirements, or customer needs. Here's a specific action you can take this week. Pick one routine task in your current role that involves gathering information or monitoring something physical. Now imagine an AI robot could handle that task and provide detailed data about what it found. Write down 3 ways you could use that information to create more value for your organization. Maybe you work in retail and you spend time checking inventory levels. What if a robot could not only count products but also track which items customers pick up and put back? Monitor how long products sit in certain locations and identify optimal shelf arrangements. How would you use that data to improve sales? Or maybe you work in an office building and you deal with maintenance issues. What if robots could continuously monitor air quality, temperature, lighting, and equipment performance throughout the building? How would you use that information to create a better work environment and reduce operating costs? The key is to start thinking like someone who works with AI systems rather than someone who might be replaced by them. Because the people who figure this out first are going to have a huge advantage in the job market of the next few years. This shift to physical AI is happening faster than most people realize, and it's going to reshape entire industries. But unlike previous waves of automation that primarily affected manufacturing, this technology is going to touch almost every type of work that involves physical tasks or real-world problem solving. The winners are going to be people who see this as an opportunity to level up their capabilities, rather than a threat to their job security, because at the end of the day, these robots are tools, incredibly sophisticated tools, that can amplify human intelligence and creativity in ways we're just beginning to understand. So while the robots are learning to navigate our physical world, make sure you're learning to navigate the new economy they're creating. The combination of human insight and AI capability is going to be unstoppable as long as you're on the right side of that partnership. That's today's AI in 10. If you want to go deeper and learn AI with a community of people just like you, join us at aihammock.com. I'll see you tomorrow, my friends.